The first time he got on, he just kept going, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" As my life has gone on, I've gone from focusing on my trail riding or bike rides out on the road or gravel to hanging out with my kids and taking them to the pump track. And I have a 4-year-old and now a 3-month-old. And originally I started off with a really cool product from Thule called the Ride Along Mini that kind of attached up here in your stem area and let the kids sit behind the handlebar. And I loved that product because it was so rad to take my kid out to the local trails and cruise around with him and get him his first taste of mountain biking. And the addiction started pretty early. Eventually we were able to get him onto a Strider bike, and now we're transitioning from Strider to like full-on pedaling and chasing down the trails out here as well as the pump track. But every once in a while I want to go a little faster than the Strider bike or his pedal bike allows, and maybe I actually just want him along for the ride, because it's just a little bit more fun that way. I can really share this moment with my kid. So step in this product, and this is called the Kids Ride Shotgun, and it's a pretty cool thing. So this shotgun seat is pretty simple, but surprisingly awesome. And what it does, as you can see, is it lets the kids sit in between where I sit on the bike and my handlebars. And there's a lot of really cool factors about that. One is it gives this POV view for my kid, what it's like to be life behind the bars on the trails. The kid also is able to see kind of the lines and choices that I make, and I can actually talk through the process as we're out on the trail and tell my kid, look for this feature, we're gonna corner here, we wanna place our tire there. The other piece that I love about this is actually the way that it integrates behind the handlebars, and that's really key. Like I said, I had that Thule Ride Along Mini, and it does kind of the same thing, but it actually has a handlebar that's part of the seat that they hold on to. But in this case, you can see there isn't that handlebar. They do actually make a riser bar that attaches to your handlebar, and it is a separate handlebar for the kids. But what I've found is that my kid loves to just kind of hang on to the handlebars, and he actually likes a nice wide grip. So his hands are all the way out here. And so he loves that I have nice wide bars. But it's great. I can tell my kid, hey, we're coming up through some bumps or some corners. I need you to have strong arms, and he knows to really plant that. And again, this helps if we're going through some chunks and stuff. He's going to be able to hold his head up and not make contact with the bars. Now, I personally do ride with a full face helmet when I take my kid on this when I'm doing trail riding. If we're just cruising around the street, a normal half shell is plenty good, but I want to add a little protection. Now, one of the other things that I love about where this seat is that it puts my kid in between me. So this means that I can really read the trail, and if I feel like something is going wrong, we're gonna wash out, if we're gonna have any sort of wreck, I can quickly, compensate and protect my child, and that's really cool to have them there. A couple other cool features is just how their feet are engaged here. You can see there's these nice rubber straps, and it actually has a couple different loops. So if they have bigger shoes on or anything, they can do that. And they have a really nice knurled surface here. So it's cool because you can slide your kid's foot in there and really kind of like engage their foot strongly in that. So they're not flopping around, and you don't have to worry about any sort of interaction with the rest of your bike. The way this works is it's basically a U-shaped framework that you can make some adjustments on, and there is this rubber cushioning that runs down it. Now, I have a carbon fiber bike here, and I was a little hesitant when doing this, so I have a couple of tricks that I use, and the first one is I like to carry a nice clean cloth. I use a microfiber one. And then I'll usually use either just my water bottle or some Windex or something that I have in the van, and I will clean the frame just to make sure I'm not like rubbing anything with dirt. So that's one little trick. There is also a threaded bar that holds these pedals or the pegs on, and I personally would have loved to have seen some sort of feature where they actually protected that so that if it did shift or move, it wouldn't touch your bike. Basically, it has two things that hold this on to the bike. There is this main pin here, and then the ones for the pedals. And so this gives kind of two squeeze points on your frame. and it is not a lot of pressure to keep this thing from moving. It's really solid. It also has a rubber bumper that it rides on, and your kid's weight is actually what kind of holds it in place. The saddle is adjustable, so you can get a nice level ride for your kid as well. And we have used this all over my local trails. I've done big climbs with my kid. We've done flow trails. We've even hit jumps. I'm gonna say that it wasn't like we were sending it, but you know, we were going over these little tabletops and, you know, micro airs and stuff there. And it's just really cool to share that experience and be able to teach your kid from a first person perspective of how trail riding goes. As you can see, I've got stuff going on my bike, and this doesn't interact with any of them. I've used it on the pump track bike that we have. We have a dirt jumper, and my kid absolutely loves it. The first time he got on, he just kept going, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" So super stoked to see him on it. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to complain about on this thing. I think really the only minor gripes I have is I'd love to see that protection on the foot peg threading. And then just make sure you clean your bike before you put it on, just to keep it happy, and don't over torque things. Beyond that, this thing has been great. It's a great item to have to take your kids out. And this will work for trail riding, for pump track, for on the road. I've switched it from bike to bike, and that's one of the cool features about it, is it is very adjustable. So super easy to install. There's just a few things and a few basic tools that are actually included with the package when you buy this. All right, so that is the Kids Ride Shotgun seat, and this is a great seat for kids and for the parents that want to ride with them. This will support kids from about age 2 to 5 and up to 48 pounds, so it's pretty good range and will last you through several kids. I'm excited to use it for my second kid after Ethan outgrows this. If you have any other questions about the rest of our kids' products and need any help there, our gear advisors are standing by ready to help you find the right products to get you and your kids out on the trails. As always, remember, keep pedaling. Tell everyone, keep pedaling.
Keep pedaling.